Digest, how to get your disability approved fast webinar. This is Brian Tarian. I'd like to thank you for joining today. Here's the plan for today. I'm going to go through a few tips on how to use your Disability Digest membership, not only get your disability, but perhaps answer some other pressing questions that you have about going through the process. Also want to take plenty of time to address any individual questions that you have. But most importantly today, I'm going to spend some quality time on the strategy, the free do-it-yourself or done-for-you disability approval strategy that has helped over 11,000 members get their disability benefits fast. So that accounts for over $12 million going into bank accounts as a result of the information that I'm going to share with you today. And it's really it's a combination of information that we've collected from experts in the industry, as well as those that have come before you and gone through the disability approval process that have shared what worked for them. So anyway, let's get started. The first thing I want to share with you is not to intimidate you, but just kind of give you a realistic perspective of what the approval process and the statistics are like for Social Security. And I have up on the screen the Social Security approval statistics, and I'm going to get my little magic wand out here. And this shows you the years and the time period, 2014, the most recent statistics. The number of applicants, you can see that they got up to 2.9 million, 2.8 million in 2010 and 11, perhaps economy related, and they're back down around 2.5 million now. But the thing that I really want to point out is the number of applications, around 800,000 a year, is the award amount, the awards are around 800,000 a year, is the percentage of awards have gone decreased, down 8% from the prior year, 9% the prior year. 33% of all of the applicants that approve, that actually apply, get approved, which is the key point here, 33%. So here's my, I want to soften that. That's kind of a daunting figure. But there are so many people that just go out and apply and take a wild guess at applying, figure it's benefits that they should just be rightly entitled to, which there's certainly an argument for that. And when they go through the approval process, they don't do it correctly, and as a result, they become a statistic. I've met countless people that are legitimately disabled, but their application just doesn't communicate it. So what we're going to show you today is how to beat those statistics. And what we found is if you've got a good, solid application, you should be able to get yourself through the system in 18 months. It's whether you do it on your own with our mini course, or if you want to use a representative in a combination with the mini course. And that sure and heck beats the national average of around over 3 years to get approved. Okay, so let me turn my wand off here, and we'll get back to the show. In the meantime, I know some of you are just joining us late. Thanks again for joining the Disability Digest approval, disability approval webinar. If you have questions, I want to certainly take time to answer those. If you would type those into the question feature that's on the GoToMeeting software, or you could put them in the chat feature. Either or would work for me. You can also raise your hand. There's a little hand-raising feature on the GoToMeeting software, and if you raise your hand, I'll then unmute you, and we can just talk like we're on the telephone. So take your time, do that. I'm going to address a lot of things as we get going here, but of course, if there's something that is not addressed, I certainly want to answer it for you. Okay, so what I'd like to share with you first before we get started about the approval process is a little bit about how to use your membership. When you signed up for your Disability Digest membership, or maybe you're a member of the Fibromyalgia and Disability Digest, you are directed to information that will assist you in getting approved for disability. As a result, you are invited here today. In addition to that, there's a lot of other information and services that we can help provide you. And I'm going to show you in the top right-hand corner. I'm just going to click on the members area now, and I'm going to go into the members area, and that's at the top of most pages. And in here, there's a video at the top that walks you through the resources. But just it's laid out pretty straightforward. The first section is what we're going to go through here today, which is getting approved for disability. And the second section has to do with maximizing your benefits, or how much money you can make and keep your benefits. A lot of people, after they get approved, want to do some supplement their income, and so you can learn about how to do that here. Once you learn about how much money you can make and keep your benefits, you want to find out how to do it. That's in Section 3. Most of this business is run by people that are on disability, so we always welcome you to come back here and periodically take a look at the positions that we have that are open. And then there's information about housing, how to find affordable housing, and safe neighborhoods with less than $1 in your pocket and bad credit, that type of stuff. Disabled grants. And Section 6 has a lot of information that's relevant to people going through the disability approval process. Perhaps you're uninsured, not able to afford your treatment. There's low-cost, no-cost treatment options in here in Section 6. Medications, maybe you're paying out of pocket or your co-pays aren't covering everything. There's prescription discount cards that can significantly reduce your expenses. So there's all kinds of resources in here. So just, have the heads up that you can come in and check out the members area. If at any time you have questions that aren't answered, or you just want to get a direct answer to something, or whatever it may be, you can contact support at the Disability Digest, and there's a team there that that will help you out. One other thing I want to point out is there's a search feature up here, and if you want to find anything on the website rather than go and look through the members area, let's say that you want to find disabled housing. This one already popped up. I'll just put that in here, and then I'll put in the search. So this searches through everything that we have on our website. And the top block is Ads by Google, who is a sponsor of this website. But when you come down here, this is the first, says the Disability Digest. This is the start of the housing information. So that's another great way. Okay, good. So we've talked a little bit about how to use the membership, how you can find your way around, where you can go for help. Now let's get into the actual nuts and bolts of what our strategy is and how we've helped people get approved for their disability benefits. There's a Social Security Disability mini course that you would have been directed to, hopefully, right after you registered. And if you weren't, then I'm going to show you how to get to it. And this is the first key part of our getting approved process. In the members area, which I just showed you how to get to, item number 1A is the Social Security Disability mini course. Now, this course has got, basically it's an A to Z approval guide. It's got audios, videos, a complete introduction, and live help, somebody that you can talk to personally to support you through the process. And I'm going to break all this down for you. So what you're looking at now is the beginning of the mini course and the lessons. Lesson 1A is about working and applying for disability. Some people are still working part-time, want to know if they can apply, what that would be like, what the chances are, how much money you can make and still apply. That's all covered in Lesson 1A. 1B, if you need to get your application started, that's where you want to go. If you've got forms from Social Security Disability and you need to have those filled out, like your work history forms and your functional capacity forms are part of the process that you'll need to complete. This is the course that you'll need to complete those. So here's how most of the information works. This particular course, 1C, I'll use as an example. This is Carl Osterhout, who actually goes through the forms with me. These are all the forms that you'll have to fill out on your own as part of the approval process. And we go through, and Carl's handled over 25,000 claims, has had a great success rate, works out of Pittsburgh. And so in this video here, this video walks through each form, tells you how to fill it out, what to put in each area, how to answer the questions. It's just like having Carl sit in your living room with you and tell you all the answers. And these first few steps are really, really critical. If you're going to do this yourself, we encourage you to just take the time, go through the application process, make sure you do it right, and follow the directions. Because it's very, very expensive if you don't. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but I just want to give you kind of the rest of the tour of the mini course here. 2, how to answer your questions, what you'll need to file, covering the basics. It's just, this is all self-explanatory. There's even tips in here on how to survive the wait. If you're coming to us and you've applied and been denied, or you're waiting for a hearing, then the lessons in the very beginning are going to have some value to you to help you understand what you need to communicate. But really what you're going to need to do is jump down into like lesson 7 and 8 and 9. So preparing for your hearing, what you need to, what you need to expect if you're using a representative, what you need to expect of them. There's even tips in there of how you can get approved before a hearing. Okay, so in addition to all of this in the mini course and all of the lessons, each one of you, well, I shouldn't say each one of you, our goal is to assign most of you an advocate, which is somebody that works here at the Disability Digest. They're a trained tour guide. Most of them are on disability, and their job is to make themselves available so that if you contact them, they'll go through the disability approval strategy with you that will help you maximize your chances for winning. So what that is and what they're trained to help you do is to answer all your questions. In addition to that, they will help you find the resources that you'll need to get approved. Perhaps you're struggling with getting enough treatment. Maybe you don't have enough medical evidence. Could be work-related situation. Maybe you're still working part-time. Just help you smooth out all those things, give you the directions to get your case in line, help you understand what lessons are most relevant in the mini course. They'll also help you understand your options for applying or advancing your case. You can do this on your own. That's what this mini course is for. That's not for everybody. Some people want to explore the options of considering using representation, so they can go through all of that with you. But most importantly, the thing that they're going to do is they'll listen to your specific limitations that you have, and they will help you get your story straight, if you will, to get your disability approved. And what I mean by that, the last 2 points that I want to make is communicating your disability in the right language to Social Security is really the key to getting approved. An example of that would be, let's say somebody is suffering from fibromyalgia and they've got a bad back, all right? Somebody is 51 years old, been working a lot, maybe was a nurse, hurt their back, it's got fibromyalgia, just is really having a challenging time working. So if that person went through the application process, typically what they would say on their application is, I have fibromyalgia and a bad back and I can't work. It really hurts. And that is accurate. However, that's not what Social Security is looking for. They don't necessarily tell you this, but what they are looking for is what those limitations are from those conditions that you have. So for example, somebody with a bad back likely can't stand for more than 15 minutes, wouldn't be able to sit for more than 15 minutes, would have a hard time bending and stooping more than twice a day without excruciating pain. in addition to that, the fibromyalgia would cause fatigue issues. So the individual would likely, if they're doing a sink full of dishes for 2 people, would, you know, do the cups and plates and then have to take a break and come back and do the silverware and the dishes and the pots. And just have to sit down in between. But explaining that your limitations for sitting, standing, lifting, you know, if you can't lift a gallon of milk, that's also another key indicator. I'm not able to climb 5 steps. If I'm in a store, I'm not able to walk more than 25 feet on a flat surface without stopping and sitting down for a moment. This is the type of information that clearly communicates that you're not able to do any job out there in the United States 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, which is what you need to prove. So I've thrown a lot at you in the first few minutes here, and again, I just want to put out there that if you have specific questions, in just a moment I'm going to start taking those questions, and you can, 2 ways that you can ask your question. One is if on the GoToMeeting software there's a question feature. If you would just type your question in there, then I will be able to get it as I'm looking for that question feature on my software here. Also in the chat, if you would, you can type your question in the chat as well. Okay, I see that some questions are already coming in. Okay, great. Okay, just bear with me a moment. I want to get set up here so that I can make sure I get all the questions answered. And then I have one more point I want to cover before I start answering the questions. Okay, good. The next thing is if you're looking at the back at the screen, this really is the most critical point that I want to make for people that are just starting out their application or maybe they haven't applied. What you put in your application at the very beginning and what you communicate your limitations are and how you feel is going to be in your case throughout. And so what happens to people, unfortunately, is they communicate information about their condition that they feel is accurate, but if they get denied and they have to go to court and they're in front of a judge and they get questioned on it and it's not consistent, there becomes a credibility issue. And when you have a credibility issue in a case, then it really weakens the whole, weakens the whole argument about being disabled. This is really well explained in that interview in item 1C by Carl Osterhow. And his message that I'm relaying to you is just make sure that you follow the directions and do it right with the information that we gave you here today so that you can get approved. The worst thing that you can do is just say, well, I think I got it. I listened to this guy's webinar for 20 minutes and I'm going to go have a crack at it. I just know from experience, and I showed you the statistics at the very beginning of this, that it's just getting increasingly difficult. So I just want to make sure that our message is clear. Our goal is to help you get the benefits that you're entitled to, help you understand if you don't qualify, of course, but I'm just going with the fact that you are and that you just invest the right amount of time in order to make this work for you. Okay, so next I want to take any questions that are out there, and if you have questions, once again, you can type them in the GoToMeeting question feature, and that's one way. You can put them in the chat, which I don't see any that are in there, or on the GoToMeeting software there's a hand-raising feature, and you can raise your hand, and I would be glad to answer any individual questions that you may have, anything at all. You can, of course, just state your first name if you want to, don't want anybody to know what's going on. You can type it, and I'm not going to read your name. I'll address your first name, but okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, great. Okay, we did have one question about working and applying for disability. I'd like to address that one. You can work, the regulations are this, you can work and earn up to $1,070 a month and apply for disability. That's what Social Security disability says. However, it's just difficult to get those cases approved, and the reason for that is Social Security looks at that in your earnings and they say, well, you know, if you had some reasonable accommodations at your workplace, or maybe if your treatment was a little bit better, or you saw a specialist about, you know, your rheumatoid arthritis, then perhaps you could work. It just opens an argument up. So the best advice that I've heard from others that look at these cases and represent them, as well as members that have had success getting through, is to just not work if you can. I know it's very, very difficult because of the financial aspect of it. But if you can just concentrate on getting your disability case approved fast. And then while you're going through the approval process, you can certainly do some brainstorming. You can look at what your next move is going to be, because once you're on disability, you can work and supplement your income and keep your benefits. As a matter of fact, you can earn up to $770 a month and keep your benefits, and that's net after expenses. That's after you know, all the deductions that you have, your computer, your cell phone, anything that you need to generate that income. So that can be helpful, and there's quite a bit you can do with that. If you want to learn more about that, go in Section 2 in the members area. One other question was about treatment and going through the approval process, because still today, despite the efforts out there, there's a lot of people that are uninsured. So the key is this. With Social Security, what they're looking at is if you have conditions that prevent you from being able to work, and they're being treated, and they're not getting any better, then that's one of the bases for getting approved. If you have conditions that you're not getting treated for, and if you were getting treated for, they could get better, like an amputee, you know, there's not much you can do for a treatment. If somebody's legally blind, there's not much you can do for that. And those are exceptions to this statement. So that being said, if you're uninsured and you're not able to afford treatment, I would go into our members area or work with your advocate that we have assigned to you to find low-cost, no-cost treatment options. Just about every community out there has some type of resource that can satisfy the criteria that you can get involved with on a sliding scale. And so you can make the effort, get treated, get through the process. And just so that you know, when you're in the mini course, if you haven't caught up with your advocate, you can just request to speak with them by completing that form that is just right there on the page. Okay. Let's see. I've got another question here. One moment, please. Okay. All right. So here's a question. I'm on LTD, which is long-term disability, is what that abbreviation stands for, which is private insurance from an employer. And they think I'm a good candidate for SSD, which is Social Security Disability, and I'm assigned to an advocate. SSD sends me the paperwork to fill out, and I'm having a very hard time filling it out. I'm not sure if I'm answering the questions in the way I should. I'm not sure which forms they sent you to fill out, but I expect it's the forms that are covered in the Lesson 1C that I've been talking about, Work 3 and the daily questionnaire. And that would be the first place I would go. You may be able to pull it off and do it on your own. In addition to that, you're assigned an advocate. I'm not sure what kind of advocate it is. But perhaps the advocate is a disability representative or a disability advocate. They can help you do that. And that is another option. If you are really stuck with the paperwork and despite the lessons and all the information we provide, and you just feel this isn't something that you want to do, you should, interview with a Social Security disability representative. And our advocate can, make a suggestion for who might be a good fit for you. And just to see if that would be a comfortable way for you to go about pursuing your benefits if the mini course won't work. Okay. This is the function report. Okay, so it's a function report. So that's what's covered in 1C. Yep. So make your way down here to 1C, and if you look on the bottom of the form, you'll see that there's numbers. The function report is 3373, and that's one of the forms that's covered in this. So hopefully that'll help you out. Okay? Great. All right. Listen, that's all I've got for you here today. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you being members. My one commercial that I have for you today is, Darren, the answer to that question is yes. Yes, you can. The question was, can you withdraw from a 401k or being on SSD? You've already earned that income, and the income that I mentioned is like, working somewhere and getting a paycheck. Oh, where was I? Oh, okay. So, first of all, again, I'd like to thank you for being a member of the Fibromyalgia or Disability Digest, whichever membership you have. Second of all, I really appreciate you placing your trust in us to come out here today to help us or listen to us and have us help you get your disability benefits. If you found value in any of the information that we have here today, we would certainly appreciate it if you knew anybody that is either looking to get on their disability benefits or they're already on disability benefits. A lot of information that we do. There's meetings just like this to help people that are looking to supplement their income, find housing. They have questions about their check, etc. Tell them about the work that we do here at the Disability Digest, and they can come to thedisabilitydigest.com and get a membership. Actually, there's a tell a friend feature up here. If you are interested in telling a friend, you can just click on that button, and either they can fill in the information or you can, and from time to time, we give away prizes and awards for doing that. So check out the Tell a Friend feature that's up there. So this has been recorded. It's going to be on our blog probably within another day or two. So, and to find the blog, you just go into the members area. We'll also put it up on YouTube. If you go into the members area and then just scroll down here, I'd suggest that you bookmark our blog anyway. And it's item 7A, and you'll find it in there in the next few days. So if you missed something important, you can listen to the replay. So thanks again. This has been Brian Therrien. Make it a great day.